So guess what? This channel recently hit 10,000 subscribers. That is super exciting, and I have you to thank, because if you were not watching my videos or subscribing or sharing my videos with other people or taking time to comment down below, I would not have a YouTube channel. Or I could have a YouTube channel, but I would not be motivated at all to make videos if nobody watched them. I asked on the community page, how should we celebrate? One of the suggestions was to react to my top 5 videos, which I will be doing today. Somebody also asked if I would do a live stream. Well, I will post when that live stream is going to happen, somewhere right up here. My most viewed video last year was parents open up about regretting having kids. I was a little torn as to whether or not I should make this video, and it doesn't bother me that people have children, but I often find that when people are on the fence or they're trying to decide whether or not they want to have kids, they really only see one side of parenthood. They see the side that people want to show, like the happy stuff and the good stuff and the cute kids and the baby clothes and, you know, the smiling baby and all that stuff. There is a part of parenthood that people kind of like to keep hidden, and I think people are starting to talk about it a lot more now. There's this idea that parenthood kind of looks like this, when in reality it kind of looks like this. And I feel like it's really important for people making the decision of whether or not they want to have kids to look into some parents that have regrets and why parents have regrets. And some of the reasons that parents have regrets is because they didn't really think about the fact that they had a choice to have a kid. They just had a kid because that's what everybody told them that they should do. There's that old saying that says knowledge is power, and I fully believe that, because if you have all the facts, then you get to make a very informed decision about whether or not you actually want to have kids. Obviously, no parent is going to know what it's like until you're in it. So if we can learn from other people, why not? I do think parents should have a place where they can go and talk about some of the rough stuff they're going through as a parent, because let's be honest, we all have rough moments in life. And we should all have a place where we can go and talk about those things and not feel shamed or bad about it. So what's really interesting about this video is that I actually shot this video in the same room I'm sitting in now, but my setup is totally different. I've changed the paint color in this room 3 times. I think I'm good now. I don't think I'm gonna change it again. And I'm gonna add some more stuff back here because I feel like it needs to be a little more jazzed up back there. I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna add, but I'm gonna add some more stuff. And because I do believe in having conversations showing both sides of a lifestyle, I also made this video, 10 things that no one tells you about child-free life. Now, the things in this list are not all things that maybe are super positive. When I think of the child-free life, obviously the things that are positive and the things that I love about it massively outweigh any of the things that could be seen as being negative things. I don't want to paint the child-free life as being like, oh my goodness, everything's perfect and no one will ever judge you, because I just don't think that's reality. And so I made this video, and it includes some of the aspects of child-free life that people can find really challenging and that maybe aren't the most positive aspects of child-free life. Not everyone is going to support your choice to be child-free. Not everyone is going to just openly accept your child-free lifestyle. You're going to get criticism. You're going to get people that don't understand you. Your friendships are going to massively change when your friends start having kids. People are going to assume that your life isn't fulfilled and isn't happy if you aren't a parent. And they kind of tend to get into your business a little bit more when you are child-free. You may feel like you are under pressure to have children, and some of us are told so many times that we will change our minds. And we know we're not going to change our minds, but people keep saying it. I would love it if this just wasn't even a thing, if, you know, no one said these negative things and no one questioned our ability to make adult decisions, but here we are. It's good to know that if you are going through this or people say these kinds of things to you, you are absolutely not alone, because most of us have experienced several of these in our child-free life so far. One of the things that always comes up when you're child-free is people have no idea how you are going to make it through your later years if you don't have kids. And this, I think, is one of the most ridiculous things that people ask child-free people, because we all know that there are so many aging parents who have kids and their kids are nowhere in their lives. They don't help them. And let's be honest, you shouldn't have kids just so that you have someone to take care of you when you're old. But yet, this is something that we get asked all the time. Do child-free over 50 regret their decision? Hearing people tell us over and over that we are going to have regrets as we get older starts to get inside your head. Even if you're just like, there's no point in having a kid if I don't want to be a parent and I don't want to raise a kid for a future regret that may not even exist. When you hear it over and over again, it just gets inside your head and you start thinking, oh my goodness, what if I am making a wrong decision? I had to research and find people that were 50 plus that had no kids, and I wanted to hear what they had to say. And you know what? The majority of people over 50 do not regret their child-free choice. If you are over 50 and you are child-free and you have regrets, you can send me a message, because I want to know if you regret it or not and why you regret it. This video is the perfect reminder for you that when people tell you you are going to be older and lonely and all alone and your life is just going to be miserable because you didn't have kids, that is actually statistically not even true. The idea that people are using fear to try and scare you into having kids is a whole other issue, and I don't even understand why people would choose to do that. I love reading these kinds of stories because I think they're so encouraging to child-free people, because we have people who have lived far longer than we have, and they're saying, as you get older, it's still super cool to be child-free. I still absolutely love my life. And I'm so glad there are people that are willing to share their lives and their stories with us. And stories like this also tell us that we can trust our judgment right now. The way you feel about kids right now, the fact that you don't want to have them, so the right choice is to not have them. Society has a way of linking a woman's value to motherhood, and if you are not a mother, you definitely are not giving back to society, and you somehow are worth not as much as a parent. And I feel like Vicky McLeod did such a good job at shattering that and being like, listen, you are valuable exactly how you are, and you don't need to have babies to prove your worth or your value to anybody in the world. I love that she is over the age of 60 making this video, because it gives a lot of credibility to how much life she has lived, what she has experienced as a child-free woman, and now she gets to share that with a younger generation of child-free people. I also really like that she brings up that men are never under the same pressure that women are when it comes to having kids. Men can literally make the decision to be child-free, and I feel like it's just so much more accepted. She also does a really good job at discussing legacy and what that actually means for people. She brings up this idea of otherhood instead of motherhood. People can be fulfilled by doing things other than being a parent. Vicky also talked about this idea of wondering, like, if we wonder what our lives had been like if we had had kids, does that mean that we have regret? No. It's really normal for humans to wonder about how their lives would have been different if they had made a different decision. And things in the world must be changing somewhat because birth rates are starting to decrease. Part of it could just be that people are realizing they have a choice and maybe they just don't want to be a parent. This video talked a lot about what's happening in India, and for the first time, there are more women that are choosing to have a career and deciding that being a parent is really not something that they're interested in doing. There are so many reasons that people are questioning whether or not they actually want to have kids. The crazy things that have been going on in this world: overpopulation, climate change, the amount it costs to raise a child, the responsibility of raising a child, the way that your life completely changes. People are acknowledging that they may not actually be fulfilled by raising a child, that being a parent is not their calling. There are people that struggle with mental health issues and challenges with their genetics that they do not want to pass on to a child. People are more open to living life in a different way and not doing the thing that has been done for a long time or the society expects from you. With all the crazy stuff that has been going on in our world over the past few years, and we know that there's probably more craziness to come. I mean, we hope not, but let's be honest, it seems to be heading in that direction. People are just taking a little bit more time to think about some of these decisions, whether or not they actually want to bring kids into a world like this. And those are absolutely questions that people should be asking before they decide to have a baby. There is something so empowering about knowing you get to make the decision for yourself. You don't have to do the thing that everyone else is doing. You get to look at all the choices and then you decide how you want to live life. You are never alone in your child-free choice. Your value absolutely does not change if you choose not to have kids or if you are unable to have kids. And I am so glad you were part of this community.